Here we are.
And we are on. Oh, I thought Marina, my wife, was going to pay us a visit here, but she decided against it, looks like.
Yeah. Dude, she decided against it.
Just like last time, this hump day just cannot come soon enough.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to this one. In fact, I wanted to start off this week with, I heard we're all stuck in the quarantine. So an Irish digital health tech entrepreneur I know was just about to close his investment round. Quarantine happened. He was stuck. He just had to get the last part of his investment round across the line. Finally gets a commitment from a world famous California venture capitalist. Hops on a Zoom call with him and, says, just thanks the venture capitalist for giving him time. He's like, listen, you've got 5 minutes. I've been on back-to-back Zoom calls all day long. You got 5 minutes. So the Irish entrepreneur, not missing a beat, starts lashing into his pitch and gives it everything he's got. He's going at it hard. He's telling him about the market and the opportunity. And the California venture capitalist is looking at him going, geez, just stop. This is phenomenal. That's the best pitch I've ever heard. This is amazing. But to be honest with you, with the quarantine going on, not being able to meet you in person, how can I invest? How can I really get to know you?
Wow.
Tell me what's your biggest weakness? And the Irish entrepreneur looks at him and says, well, California, you'd call it transparency. Ireland, we'd call it honesty. I'm too honest. And the California venture capitalist says, you don't understand. Like, I built this firm on transparency and honesty. I think honesty is your biggest strength. And the Irish entrepreneur looks at him and says, I don't give a shit what you think.
Boom, dude, that was good. I was actually like, you got me that it was actually a joke. I didn't realize. I'm like sitting at the edge if the guy's gonna invest or not, or what's gonna happen or not. And it's just you got
True
me.
story.
That's a good. It's perfect. I mean, given our digital health and the investments, that you got me good. I actually just got matched up via Donut in Slack. So I'm in this in the Slack group, and this little, I'll say app within an app, Donut matches you with an investor. So I have a call with an investor in a couple of weeks. It kind of matches you through it. It's pretty fascinating. So our next guest is waiting, but I'm gonna just tell her to wait a few more minutes because I wanted to kind of get us through. A couple of things that I have also a funny story, not a joke, but a funny story. Few minutes, guest.
The reviews.
Only one, but this is hilarious. I think same as your wife, my wife has been, beating me up. Marina's after every episode. But actually, they do want to watch it. The whole family wants to watch it with me, and I'm kind of cringing watching this, but afterwards. So we, a little pitch for your coach. We just released a health coaching report. So this went out through, all of our friends. We've worked on it for months and months and months. So yourcoach.health, you can download from there. So we started, a lot of stuff started coming in, including probably somebody Michael Garrow from Dublin. Sends Marina a quick note saying like how great the report is and, and there's a couple of minor tweaks and, whatever. But at the end he said, oh, and looking forward to episode 4. Those two are some laugh to break up your week every Wednesday. So
there we go. Yeah, he thought he gives me a little report too, kind of a la Matthew Holt style. And he can agree with you that last week was a little bit of a hot mess.
Which, by the way, we got the least views on the Matthew Holt Just Massa episode than the previous two. So
I got lots of people really people that listened to it said they liked it. They thought Matthew was on point. Jessica was,
no, they rock. It was fun.
Good, very good.
All right, so I'm gonna let Kristin in.
Okay, cool.
But
the last time I saw.
While Kristin is getting in, welcome. We were already recording and we did a little review thing.
Okay.
Just before we have you introduce yourself very quickly, I have to actually look at what I was wearing last week, like just to make sure I don't repeat sweaters and outfits. Not that anybody cares, but
Yeah, I've got shorts on this week, so if I stand up, it'll look like I'm not wearing pants. That's not good for.
Oh, you got like different. You look like you're going. Yeah, you're cash. Linen.
How are you, Kristin?
You're breaking out the linen already.
How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to
Thank
a
you
shot
for
of
having
digital
me
health.
into your living room. You're very well organized photo collection over there. I mean, who has that?
Right. No, yeah, this is
the
this
photo
is
album. What?
Wait, that's real, Jim?
Yeah, it's all real, man. That's all.
I thought it was a virtual background.
And I bet. No, I bet each photo
This is the tribute to Marrying Well. Marrying Well is the organizer.
Right. Yeah, she puts me to shame. Clearly.
Right.
Because my daughter was noticing, my older daughter just turned 18 and we were going through, we have like these 2 boxes of photos like thrown in there. It's like not even close to what your wife is achieving over here.
Yeah,
and
no, it's
my younger daughter is like, where's my box?
Right.
We're like, it's all here. It's in our camera,
Right.
Like that's what happened with the second kid.
We have no photos of certain kids.
Oh my God.
So listen, we got to introduce, we got to make sure we do, again, for anyone listening, I'm Jim Joyce, the co-host of the Unproduced Shot of Digital Health Therapy. Did I get that right, Eugene?
You got it. And this is Eugene, the co-host in Jim's living room, apparently, for those who are viewing us.
The very organized living room. And this is Kristen Milburn.
Excellent. So Eugene, you're going to tee her up because I think your background's phenomenal. Like we've got all kinds of things to cover here. But are you going to tee her up, or are you going to have her do the work?
Yeah. No, I mean, come on, we got to welcome our guests.
I mean, the first thing is that the first time I met Jim was an epic trip to Dublin a few years ago, where I had my first real. Now, what's the beer with the foam on the top?
Guinness.
My first real Guinness.
You had one.
Just one. What is it that they do differently in Ireland with the foam that they don't do here?
They wait. They pour.
Yeah, it just takes forever to pour it.
Yeah. They let it settle, and it's kind of like they have to give birth to it. They say, it has to slowly. So
I'm glad I experienced it there first.
Yeah, we ended up on an island, Aran Islands.
The Aran Islands, in the rain, riding bikes around the island with other digital health.
Somebody, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. Hold on.
Lisa was there.
I'm gonna disconnect my head.
Hey, beautiful.
Oh my God. How did you get roped into this?
Why do you look, okay, Eugene looks like he had Zika and his head is.
I'm gonna shut off the background.
Now you get to see where we really are.
Hey,
right.
Marina.
Hey guys.
You're kind of like, Eugene's turned you into kind of a virtual reality.
Yeah, you're like not really there, but kind of.
He's such a gentleman. He's sitting on a chair and I'm just standing here. So,
are you joining us?
No, I'm not. I can't believe they roped you into this, Kristin.
It's a guest appearance. Yes, thank you for making the guest appearance during is this the third? So was it Jess and Matt last and Lisa, and I'm the third?
Yep. This is technically episode 3. So top 3 episodes.
You don't count the
I just wanted to thank Jim for entertaining him for an hour each day.
Wednesday.
Each Wednesday.
It's babysitting, yeah.
Babysitting efforts. It's so nice.
No problem. It's $9 an hour.
That's cheap.
It's worth so much more to me. It's worth so much more.
Oh my God.
Great to see.
Congrats on getting that report out, by the way, Marina.
I know.
Yeah, congrats.
That's cool. So, I look forward to digging into it.
So excited about it. It's we've been getting so much feedback. I did not expect it.
Really good.
I expected like a person to reach out and be like, good job, but it's been like so much feedback and just getting like all these different conversations going. So
awesome.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I'll leave you guys to it. I can't wait to watch the episode because we have like a screening party every Wednesday night. So
right. I heard. Yeah, we have one too. I can almost get my family through it.
Oh my God.
Sometimes, yeah. I'll keep you guys in suspense as to what goes on.
TBD whether I share it with mine.
Very good.
Right, see you guys later.
Okay, Eugene.
Thanks for
Bye,
making the
Marina.
turn.
Thank you. Thanks for the report.
Back in.
All right. So, Eugene, tee up our guest here. I think we're.
All right. Yeah. We're that was an unexpected, unplanned, unproduced.
Meticulously.
That's how we roll.
So I don't actually, even though this is like the fourth one that we're getting together. I don't remember which episode we started talking about everything from, food as medicine, to music as medicine. And actually one of the, I think Kristin, you kind of, you actually watched us. So thank you for that.
I know, yeah.
And we kind of thought that that would be an interesting topic to go a little bit deeper. I mean, we are talking about isolation right now, and we talked about people listening less to podcasts, maybe more music.
Yeah.
And just, so that's kind of one part of it.
Yeah, I was curious because a lot of people I've been talking to that used to maybe meditate more often aren't meditating as much. Like, people are feeling like they need to move, like do yoga, like,
Right.
mindful movement, right? Walking.
Right. So meditation is down.
Breath work. Well, I mean, it seems like meditation's getting a lot of attention.
Right.
And, Headspace is providing it for free to healthcare workers, my former company, also, to the NHS, in the US. But I think, what we know from research is that if you're in if you're in the middle of a traumatic experience, it's hard to close your eyes and go inward. And it's especially hard to learn something like meditation when you're in the midst of a crisis. It's a good tool to have to get through a crisis if you already learned it, but it might be more difficult to learn. So that's why, I'm excited to be working on this project, which I think Eugene was teeing up for a company called Health Tunes. In fact, we just submitted to the App Store 2 days ago. So we're waiting. We have a version into the App Store, which is sort of a beta version. It's the first time. And essentially what Health Tunes does is it marries music, which, as you guys were talking about, is already helpful. People are creating pandemic playlists and sharing.
We need to actually add that finally to the comments.
I know you need to start sharing your playlists. My sister-in-law shared her 80s pandemic playlist with me, which is like 3 hours long, and it's basically a trip through our childhood.
Right.
But it layers on what's called binaural beats. Have you guys ever heard that term?
Yeah, explain.
Basically helps you modulate your brain waves, which in turn stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which entrains your heart rate, which essentially just makes you relax. So this version of the app is designed specifically for the frontline healthcare workers. And we believe that, if you're coming off a shift where people are dying and it's just like this chaos that's still happening in the front lines of people in hospitals, that listening to classical music along with these binaural beats could actually be, for 15 minutes, that's all it is, could be a more calming.
Right.
So actually, just curious on top of that, because you mentioned, so it is only classical music at the moment, or because to me that's relaxing by itself, but I guess.
I agree. And in fact, there was an article in the New York Times just this past weekend about how this one woman who's in the ER, she's a doctor, but she's also a classical musician, has her friends who are all out of work right now because there's no performances, no concerts. So you have all these like really talented musicians sitting around not doing anything. So she collected some of them, and they're playing Bach and Beethoven, and they're putting phones next to patients in hospitals so that they can listen to classical music, instead of the beeping of the machines and stuff. So to answer your question, we have we chose 3 genres just to get this one out the door, but the the full library, which will be coming later, has all different kinds of music. This one has classical, jazz, and ambient.
Okay.
And there's 3 different music therapies. So there's stress relief, anxiety relief, burnout, and sleep. And we know everyone's sleep is getting disturbed. How are you guys?
Really? I seem like a baby.
Really?
You know,
I did last night. I woke up, I do the morning walk in our household and of our dog. And I woke up at the usual time, you know, like 6, went to the bathroom, came back, and I woke up, it was 9:30, and I was literally just waking up. And I did not get this on my Fitbit stats because I misplaced my Fitbit.
I know if it's not counting on a Fitbit or Apple Watch, it doesn't count, right?
Right, exactly. So
we don't even know if this is true. This is true because you were checking your data.
Yeah, best sleep of my life last night, and it's lost. No, but a lot of people are having trouble sleeping. They're having lucid dreams. You should have Tony. Speaking of
actually, that's a good point. Talk about lucid dreaming. Yes.
Singapore perspective.
Man, we have so many tough choices. We literally got a queue.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got like people are lining up. People are lining up. You know, so what I'm doing, so I decided, I was debating at night, like, do I have a glass of wine? Do I have a glass of wine, which probably isn't great for you. But what I found is, so I do, like Eugene and I have talked about this. He does the meditation. I do a breathing technique in the morning, like just to kind of chill myself out. And get
it's funny that you mentioned breathing because I've been doing this breath work. So when I live in Manhattan. I left, I took a job at Headspace, which I moved half my family to Santa Monica for a year. And while I was there, one of the things I learned was breath work, which is like this unique way of breathing, which I think of as like, to me, it's like a turbocharged meditation, but it feels.
Can we do it? Can we do it for like 30 seconds or something?
All right, I'll just tell you what the breathing technique is. I'm not a teacher. I'm not licensed for this, but it's basically
This is an unproduced show. This is not a prescription. It's a health scription.
And yeah, I've seen a Wim Hof video. I've seen a Wim Hof video.
Jim Hof. Oh yeah, or Wim Hof. Yeah.
Wim Hof.
I know. I would love to go on one of his expeditions, although I'm not excited about jumping in cold water. But anyway,
even though I do want to talk another expedition that you took for at least a few minutes, so I'm gonna make a unproduced note for myself for that.
But breath work, so you basically take in the class that I used to take in Santa Monica, and that's one of the silver linings of this whole pandemic thing, is when I moved back to New York, I didn't have access to any of these teachers that I had met, and none of them were doing anything really online. So that has been an amazing silver lining through all this, that I've been able to reconnect with those teachers. But I did it with Unplugged Meditation there in LA. They have a few studios. You go into a room, they have music, again, because that helps. And you're laying down, and you're basically taking a 3-part breath. You breathe in. So it's like 2 breaths in, like from your stomach to your chest, and then 1 breath out of your mouth. Is that the same one you do, Jim?
No, I'm doing this one. I think I've seen that one. I'm doing this one, which is like a big, just a massive kind of oxygenating inhale, and then a slight exhale through your nose. Okay. So it's just this big thing. The idea of you're taking in as much, and then you do that, and you're kind of retaining a lot of the oxygen, and then at the end you do kind of a pause where you kind of hold your breath and you're counting it. So I'm probably doing it wrong. I just saw it on YouTube. But
I don't know. But this
we are on YouTube, including the viewers, they're watching us on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is it's powerful. I mean, like sometimes you're laying there and you're just like tears are streaming down your face and you don't even know what's happening, but you feel amazing when it's done. It's usually about 20 minutes long. And all the breathing is through your mouth. You're not breathing through your nose.
Okay.
So
sure.
one thing, Kristin, I actually want to jump back a little bit, and I'm just doing a quick search here, but kind of the music therapy and the science, right? Because we've been talking about digital health. It is a digital health of therapy. And part of what I think the three of us in the larger community, that evidence matters. So maybe while you sort of give your little brief, I'm actually going to clinical trials, but I'll pause here. Just curious on kind of what.
Yeah, if you go to healthtunes.org, the team there has cataloged a lot of the research for different kinds of therapies for different things, like stress relief, but also for babies in the NICU. For Alzheimer's, there's lots of different studies that have been done around different therapeutic conditions.
Yeah, interesting. So I'm not going there, but I'm going to share for at least the viewers. Just did a quick, dirty search of music therapy on clinical trials, and the ones that have completed. I've been doing a lot of this because we're doing for the health coaching, same thing. So completed music therapy and hematopoietic stem cell transplant. Wow, this is a lot of stuff. So 166 studies, and I'm just curious on how many are.
That's actually something that's being used a lot, and even just for people that have had strokes, getting their gait back in rhythm post strokes. That's something I know. When I was in Dublin, there was one of the startups that Health Excel.
Rachel Francine from SingFit.
Oh,
she was. She was. I think she was on the Aran Islands with us with the Guinness.
Oh, was she? Oh, I don't remember talking to her.
This goes back to Matthew's comment about Health Excel. So let's let you know.
Oh yeah.
But relationships do get formed.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay, so what do you get? So what were you going to hit there? Because I want to cover, like, we have this kind of the story, and though Eugene, well, but so when I'm doing at night, I started picking up. I downloaded Musician, and I started learning the piano, the keyboard. You know, I bought a keyboard on Amazon, and I downloaded Musician, and at night, you know, I'm knocking out 20 minutes of piano training, you know, or keyboard training. And it absolutely winds it like it's totally relaxing, but that's probably more training yourself and distracting.
But that's cool. And in fact, I'm writing this down because I want to tell my daughters, we actually have a piano. By the way, this is not my apartment. So the way I'm getting through this pandemic is because I have this sanctuary it's actually the apartment directly above my apartment. So my entire family's downstairs. And so I have breakfast with everyone. I pack up my knapsack and I come upstairs.
Right. Well, that's nice.
Go down for lunch. But I'm telling you, it is a lifesaver because I can do this because otherwise there'd be people. And
that's not
That's
Eugene's
why I'm in the man cave.
Living room. That's not Eugene's living room. That's my living room he's in.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, because he's in the garage.
That's right.
But like, where's your family, Jim? Because, you know, we've had 3 episodes and there's been no sign of life around.
Yeah, there's a lot of shouting and screaming, saying, I'm talking to Eugene. You know, there's a lot of, you know, threatening and all. And then we all smile and act good.
It's 35 minutes. I'm going to talk to your wife, man. I'm going to talk to your wife.
I know. We got to get her on so we can admire her albums.
She's ready for it. She told me she doesn't, you know, it doesn't want to be conditioned. She wants to be the center of the show. She doesn't want to be, she's invited onto my show. That's the you know, the kids are like, we live in Dublin and thank God we just got the backyard done and we got the basement done just beforehand. And so if we didn't, like, we're all happy out. But if we didn't have the space, if we didn't have that little apartment thing, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing, like giving the kids like desks, like that they actually have a place to sit and do homeschooling. I mean, the whole thing is just crazy.
Yeah.
So I think as you guys have noticed, I'm the time guy too,
Yeah.
right? And I still want to get to. So we've talked about music as medicine and therapy, and actually that was fascinating to find out so many clinical trials ongoing. But a little bit of different experiences. So I know you've had a trip. I don't remember when, but ayahuasca. So maybe just am I even pronouncing it right?
Ayahuasca. It's
ayahuasca.
funny. Do you guys watch that show Billions?
Yes, totally.
It's back, right?
Yeah. Did you see
back.
the first episode?
No. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for anyone.
Well, I was reminded of it when you just asked me about this trip, so I'll leave it at that.
No spoilers.
I went to Peru on a trip in the middle of the Amazon, and I did experience ayahuasca, and it was crazy because, first of all, a friend of mine from Headspace told me about it, and it's a 2-week thing, and the woman, she's a well-known Dharma teacher. Dan Harris, 10% Happier.
Yeah.
That book. So he talks about her, this woman, Spring Washam, in his book, and she was leading this retreat. And because my friend had done a retreat with her, I'm like, all right, and at that point, I didn't even know what ayahuasca was. So I literally signed up for this trip knowing nothing. And I'm thinking that my friend is coming with me, but she didn't sign up fast enough. So so she's on a wait list. And I'm like, well, I signed up, I'm just going to go. So this was in September of last year, like right around the time that they're having all the fires in the Amazon. And I'm like, is this even safe?
Right.
But it was,
living on the edge, Kristen.
I was. I didn't even know if I was going to be sharing a room with someone or by myself. And it turned out I was actually sharing a room with someone. But yeah, it was intense. I mean, it was 7 ceremonies.
Yeah.
It was,
You don't even know what to say about it.
I know. Where do I go with this? I mean,
I think you just went into the trip.
We're talking about digital health. I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to tie the two together of music and ayahuasca, and then...
Well, okay, so I'll link it to music because there's a medicine man there. There's a guy who is the medicine man or his shaman for this tribe in the Amazon, and he sings these songs that are called Icaros, and Icaros are these songs that these shamans sing to pull out like the demons or the sickness out of people. And so we would do the ayahuasca, which is, it's plant medicine. It's a drink. I mean, it tastes like dirt. You're basically drinking dirt.
Sounds exciting.
Like sludge. I'm telling you. And so we're in this, what's called the Maloka, which is kind of like a yurt. It's just this big thing. And there's about 24 of us. We each have a mat, a pillow, a blanket, and a bucket. And I think you probably know what the bucket's for. So I won't go into that. But
no.
But there was a lot of music in the entire ceremony, and he would come around and sit in front of each person and sing Icaros specifically for that person, and you could feel it, like you could feel the power of the music in that space. And they had while you're in the ceremony, you can leave. There's like a this door to go up the hill to the bathroom, and the change from leaving that room, just going outside, without the music. I mean, music is powerful. I mean, it really.
But by the way, in case you guys were wondering, the reason I was so quiet, I went to clinicaltrials.gov to search for ayahuasca. One study.
Oh, yeah?
One trial.
Actually, one study. It was antidepressant effects of ayahuasca, randomized placebo-controlled trial in treatment-resistant depression.
Yeah.
Is there a photo of Kristin?
I didn't know because I was depressed, but it's also psilocybin is a sister plant medicine, and there's a ton of research around PTSD, depression, addiction, opioid addiction at NYU and Johns Hopkins. Tim Ferriss is doing a ton of research in that area of psilocybin. I think the thing with ayahuasca.
And actually, sorry, just a quick shout out to our friend Marco, who I know we all crossed paths in the past. He's now with Compass that raised $80 million for psilocybin. I want to say phase 2 something, 2B maybe. So
yeah. I think ayahuasca is harder to administer in a randomized controlled trial than like a chemical version of psilocybin. I don't know.
I think I think the challenge is getting the control group with the right medicine man. You end up,
because then you can't scale it. You can't scale it behind like that.
Well, we can't send everybody to Peru for it.
Yeah, so, you can't, not everyone's going to sit with the same medicine man in a Maloka in the middle of the Amazon. So.
Right. He gets a bit sleepy and he hangs out too close to his bucket around 3.
Right.
So, we are kind of coming to an end. And I know, Jim, you always ask, but I'm actually, because we drove through Long Island. We went to Long Island this past weekend, my nephew's birthday. So we kind of stood outside, waved for 10 minutes, right? More than 20 feet apart. And then, and actually drove back through New York City. And it was, I haven't been since we've been kind of on this lockdown in a city. So I'm curious, kind of what's the experience like, Kristen? I see you posting some things on Insta, but
I mean, it's surreal. Like I would say there's because I was here also for 9/11 and post 9/11, and that had a very ominous feel to it. But at the height of this pandemic, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say.
Where's your sign? Oh, it's professional now. Wow.
That was the only one. She's the only. I was waiting to use it all show.
I know. I saw you get it. I saw you grabbing for it, so I figured I might as well say it so you can use your prop.
Right.
But I would say there was even more of a surreal feeling in the city right when this was all going down. I remember I was going for a long walk with my dog, and I just happened upon the field hospital here in Central Park, which was like, whoa, this is actually a field hospital in Central Park. That was really weird to experience without even expecting to. I didn't even realize how close it was to where I lived. And now where you go outside and everyone's wearing the masks. I mean, everyone is wearing the masks. I mean, people are respecting that. And, if I stand up and I look out the window, I could see the line for Whole Foods in my neighborhood. And that's how I could tell whether
and everybody's 6 feet apart.
Yeah, they're all 6 feet apart. The toilet paper situation was real. As far as people hoarding and just normal people like us, maybe waiting too long to stock up. But yeah, I mean, it has been a really, for us, like as a family, I would say another silver lining has been like literally sitting down and having dinner with the family every night.
Oh yeah.
It's
Same.
I mean, sadly, it's not something we've done before. But this is the last year before my daughter goes off to college, and that has been really amazing.
And my mobile phone usage went down 0.1%. So I mean,
but not at the table, right?
Anyway, well, it was lovely, Kristen, to have you.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thanks for having me. Episode 3.
Episode 3, top 3 episodes. We can say that.
Yeah, this is a sleeper hit, Kristen. You'll be one of the early ones.
We'll see.
That's right. Cheers.